This is for the first part of our kids' garden. We're going to put strawberries here, 4 strawberry plants, 1, 2, 3, 4, fava beans and peas, fennel, some baby turnips, they're nice and crunchy, Tokyo Bikana, kind of like a green, edible salad green, and tatsoi. We'll start by planting the strawberries here. You're going to take your sheet of plastic and make 4 holes in it, like that. Put it down and mark where the 4 holes are so that you can tell where they are. Then pull it off again and dig your hole about 6 inches deep. Strawberries like a lot of fertilizer, so we're going to add some fertilizer. You're going to add a teaspoon of either organic blood meal or fish and bone meal. Here is a teaspoon of organic blood meal at the bottom of the hole. However, we don't want to burn the roots with too much fertilizer. So we're going to mix that in really well at the bottom of the hole. And maybe add a little bit of soil so the roots are not in direct contact. Now we're going to take a little baby strawberry plant. We're going to add a bit of micos to help with the root system, help the plant use the water. Add a little bit of this at the bottom of the hole. Plant the strawberry so that the soil is exactly where the plant and the roots are separated. So we want the soil level to come to here. If you plant it too low or too high, you'll get less strawberries. So I'm going to try to plant it at the right level here. There we go. Pat it down. Now you do the same for all 4 strawberries. Pretend we've done this for all 4 strawberries. We put our plastic sheet down. This is going to prevent your strawberries from rotting. And then pin each corner with one of the staples. As so. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to mention in the beginning that we've divided our bed into 3 different segments and 4 different segments. And you can see how I've done this with some twine and an eye hook. And I've divided it into 3 and to 4. But you could also equally use some sticks or pieces of wood or anything to mark this out so that you get these equal segments. Now we're going to plant the favas and the snap peas. So it's important to know how deep to plant the seeds. You can get an indication by the size of the seed. You roughly plant it about the size of the seed. So this is a big seed, we're going to plant it a little bit deeper. We're going to use these 4 quadrants and you're going to make 5 lines, and each line will have 8 fava seeds, which you're going to plant just like this. You don't need to dig it all. Make your 5 lines and push your fava down a little bit like that with your thumb. Do a second one over here. Push it down with your thumb just a little bit under the soil. Okay. Now we're going to plant our snap peas. We're going to plant them at the back because they're going to climb over this trellis. You're going to make one row of snap peas. And you're going to plant 30 snap peas every 1.5 inches. And we're not going to plant them very deep. They're pretty small. We'll just push them down a little bit under the soil and cover them all the way to the middle. So you plant them all the way along here. Over here we're going to plant a little bit of fennel. Fennel will be great for salads and also Will be really wonderful for attracting ladybugs. We'll just plant it in the middle here and just scraped away a little bit. Try to space them out and just cover them lightly. Spacing them out and just covering them. Don't plant them too deep because they're very small seeds. So that was fava, peas, and fennel. Next we're going to plant the baby turnips, the Tokyo Bikana, and the Tatsui. We're going to plant a row of turnips here, and we're going to try to put one seed down at each time and space them apart, which can be tough because they're little tiny seeds. And these ones we're just going to sprinkle. And then those 4 quadrants we'll leave open for February. Okay, so I'm going to try to make a little line. I'm going to try to put a seed. These are really tiny, so I'm just going to kind of just barely push them into the soil. Make a line all the way to the back. I'll finish that later. These ones we're just going to sprinkle. We're going to fill in this quadrant. So what's in our little packet? Try to spread them as evenly as possible. Don't go where you planted where the line is. Stay out here and sprinkle them around as evenly as possible, avoiding where you planted the baby turnips all the way to the edge. And then I just kind of cover them lightly like that. They don't really need to be covered. Same thing with the Tatsui over here. We're going to sprinkle them around as evenly as possible, avoiding the little line where we had our baby turnips. And maybe just covering a little bit like that if you want. 3 final things you have to do. Make sure to mark what you planted where, because you will forget. These markers have a rough side and a smooth side. Take a pencil, not a pen, and write the name of what you're planting on the little marker. So I'm writing Tatsui, and I'm writing January 20th. And I planted that here. Next, you're going to take a hose with a fine kind of mist setting, water everything, get it nice and wet. After that's done, maybe the next day, or when things start to grow, you're going to want to protect it from the slugs. So take about half this packet of Slugoplast. As soon as your plants stop popping up, take this and spread it around to prevent the slugs, and keep on applying this if you see that you have slugs or snails. And then in February, we'll plant lettuce over here.